Let's start us off right off the rip with some big breaking news. All right. The OEM team dropped the Enduro bikes as well as the Freeride bikes. And that is a huge W. Huge W. I'm not even going to front. I used those Freeride bikes last night to create my clip today because I know the brand new OEMs are not going to do it. So, but no, that is huge news. I know we talked about this last week. They were going to try to implement it. I personally didn't think they were going to do it that quick, though. I didn't know they were going to drop it the same day as Enduros.
No. Well, typically OEM team moves not fast. And so I kind of thought that it would be also not fast. But to my surprise, I guess everyone's good surprise, it came out really fast.
Yes. Very exciting stuff. I really haven't tested the Enduro bikes yet. I know we just talked about this off recording, but we haven't really done too much testing on the Enduro bikes. I definitely want to try to do some like clips on them. I know we did, I think in the past we both did, I forgot, BCC's test track that had that Enduro track on it. I'm pretty sure we both did it.
BCC?
Yeah, there was a KTM factory team test track. So I kind of want to go back and maybe test those Enduro bikes on that, see what it's like different. Because I didn't really look into it too much. I mean, you guys know us. We're not Enduro guys, right? So we don't really use them that often. But maybe for clip purposes, we can go in there and see if we enjoy them.
Well, Krakenberg works again, and that's really all that matters. Krakenberg is fun. And I mean, I think it's just awesome. There is a big enduro side of the game. Well, I don't know if I'd say big, but there is a enduro side of the game, and I've seen some upcoming tracks, and people have been anticipating these, and so there should be some enduro content on the way.
Is the Enduro bikes the same as like the Freeride bikes, so they have the same traction?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well,
great informative podcast here. Yes,
oh,
sir.
crap. Oh, okay. Well, I would assume that they have certain degree, right? Let's look this up real quick so we know. But I'll bring it up.
They do have tires. I can confirm that, and they will go. Yep.
That doesn't help whatsoever. Okay, so for the Enduro bikes, the bike enhancement, they basically improved steering, temperature management, so the engine temperature.
Important.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Gear shift refinement, temporary engine damage removal, improved gears fourth and fifth, the stronger rear brake, so that's pretty good. Tire overhaul. It's actually tire verhaul because they forgot the O in this page. With the release, we introduced a dedicated tire system designated specifically for the Enduro bikes. These tires have similar characteristics to those developed for the recent OEM update, but with proper dimensions for Enduro riding. Expect improved grip, stability, and performance across all terrains, tailored to the unique demands of Enduro track compared to a prior version. Now, what does that even mean? Like, because we don't really use them, so I don't really know.
What I'm going to take away from that is hills good, tires good, brake good. That would be what I would on there.
Yep, that's basically it. Well, as we're going through this, we'll obviously go and play them eventually.
Sure.
Maybe, probably not, but we possibly might. But so those dropped, and then the Freeride bikes also dropped. I think the Freeride bikes are probably better, like, for the game than the Enduro bikes because of the controversy last week. All the Freeride guys, I think everybody. I think every Freeride guy, every wheelie guy is ecstatic for the Freeride category.
Yep. Yeah. All 600 of them.
Okay, it's a little bit more than 600. Okay, it's like 650. Okay.
There is a huge scene. The bike life scene, like we said last week, is absolutely gigantic, actually, and I don't think anyone, even myself, even realizes how big it is and how impactful that is to game sales and just the community in general. So the Freeride stuff coming out is probably one of the biggest W's I think that the OEM team has done. Just like, hey, we're listening. Here you go. And also, I need to start doing, can I qualify for a pro race on enduro bikes? I just put that together. So there we go.
There
Easy
you go.
content.
You'll see those videos next week.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. You will see those tomorrow. Yeah, so big W by the OEM team. So dropping those enduro bikes and the freeride bikes. But now, after it's been about, how long has it been? 2 weeks, roughly?
Yeah, it's been a little while, week and a half-ish.
So after doing all your testing, what is your favorite bike? Because I already figured the meta already is KTM. But, I mean, we saw Lindsay's video, KTM, but what is your favorite bike out of all of them, 250 and 450 after 2 weeks?
250, I think, like, if I had to pick an overall bike to ride just both outdoors and soupy, I still think I'm going to the 23 Yam. Really. Like, I still think that would be like, I definitely think the Honda is better outdoors. And the
Honda better outdoors?
The Honda, brother, is an absolute it's amazing. It's so good. The Honda is insane.
We're talking 250s?
Yes. The Honda 250 is insane. Yeah.
I never thought we would hear those two words ever. So
it's insane. It's very, very good. It's very consistent. It just kind of eats everything. It's not, I don't feel as fast on it. I mean, if I'm need to do a 30-minute moto tomorrow without testing any more of the 250s, I'm just going to jump on the Honda. And I'm pretty confident that I'll crash less on it. Now, I think if I spend a little bit more time on the 23, I've been spending a lot of time on the 450s recently because I think I'm going to go to the 450 class for 25, but
copier.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Anyway.
I think I am too, but okay.
Yeah. But the 23 Yam is definitely my favorite in Supercross. After setups and stuff, I still think I'm taking it over the Cowie. I know a lot of people like the Cowie 250, but I would personally take the 23 Yam. 450, I'm taking the Zook.
You're taking the Zook?
Yeah, I'm not even kidding. The Zook is so good. However, hold the phone. I've been really enjoying the Husky too.
I've been using the Husky for Bay 19.
I would say between the two, the Suzuki, bro. Did you see the clip of me going at least 10,000 miles an hour through the whoop section on Daytona on the Zook?
Yes.
You didn't see it.
I did. No, I just saw your clip. I just saw the Daytona clip. Can I qualify on 450?
Oh, that was on a Husky though.
I saw that
one. I wheelie the whole section.
Yeah, I saw that one.
I posted a clip in a pub lobby where some kid entered the corner before me and then was in the whoop section before me, and I literally went past him. I don't even know. It was ridiculous where I was laughing, kind of a thing where it was so fast. And I since messed with my setup and can pretty much do that every single lap on the Zook. It's literally insane, but it's a little slow. The Husky does seem to do the same thing. Like, I've got a setup that absolutely eats. Now, Daytona's whoops are different than other whoops because they're very close together and they're small and you kind of just like skim off the top of them, where take like I don't know, any of the other whoops are much bigger. But the Husky so far seems to be my favorite 450, but I might go to the Zook as well.
Okay. Is there so for like the whoops, is there like a cheat code for fifth gear? Because like I tested in the preview bikes, and this was on like Glendale, Birmingham, Daytona. Like when you went into fifth gear, it was just a rocket ship.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that the same thing for these? This was on the preview bikes.
Even worse. Yeah, it's even worse, or not worse, but like the fifth gear is even more effective now. I think these new tires, they gain momentum through the whoops. So as the wheel spins, every time you hit a whoop, it'll propel you faster and faster and faster. Where before on the Beta 18 bikes, it was kind of the opposite effect, where when you'd come in, you'd start to slow through the whoops, which I don't necessarily think this is the most realistic thing. But now what happens is every time you hit a whoop, it'll push you faster, and then if you can catch it, it just goes fast, 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 fast. And so the faster you get the wheel to spin in between the whoops, the faster you're going to go down them. So if you notice, like if you go on Daytona, you go into the whoop section in third, double click to fifth as fast as you can. It'll like lug, and then 3 whoops in, and 3 whoops in, you're literally just along for the ride.
Yeah,
And
I
then it just
noticed
taps
that
out.
a lot. I noticed that a lot on the preview bikes where you just click fifth and it's just a rocket ship.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
The Austrian bikes for Supercross definitely have an advantage, in my opinion, in the whoop sections because you don't have to pull your clutch in.
you can just quick shift.
You just double click X real quick. For most people that don't run a clutch, I definitely think that it's difficult because you have to completely shut off and then double click X in order to shift up twice. I can just I run a clutch like crazy, so I just pull my clutch in and double click X as fast as I can, but it's still faster on the Austrian bikes.
I heard that you can actually manipulate your controller to
Yeah.
have where you can like manipulate your Steam controller overlay, whatever the hell it's called. And then so like your clutch and shifting is at the same time. Is
I'm pretty
that
sure
what it is?
when you press a shift button, it puts the clutch on, and then when you let go, it shifts. So it's like a macro almost, but not really. But we used to do that on Tarkov all the time for different things. But yeah, I think it works, but I don't know.
I
Linz
didn't test
tried
it. I
it, and
mean like I didn't
Linz
really
tried it, and
think
he didn't work. But
yeah, like since I personally used the Husky and KTM basically all year, like I just had quick shift, so I was like, what's
yeah,
the point of me even doing that? Um, and to be fair, at the beginning of the year last year, where you're using the Fantic and then like the YZ a little bit, and I've always been a guy that uses the clutch, so like I'll just use clutch shift. That's just me personally. I know a lot of
yeah.
people use shift help, and so that way you don't have
Oh
to
yeah,
use
yikes.
clutch. But like I know
Gotta
for
go.
using shift help, you have that delay and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
don't use shift help. Just pull a clutch shift. That delay is probably wasting you time.
I don't think that the 5th gear meta works on 250s as well. I've been trying it on whoop sections like East Rutherford from this last year, where you have the wheel tap and then there's a straightaway into the whoop section. It can work well if you are able to get a good run into the whoops, but from what I found, whoops out of a 180 where you're having to go through a corner and then get set up, and then I double click up to fifth, it doesn't seem to work as well for me on a 250. 250s, it's just wide open in third, and then I'll even roll off in the middle of the whoops a little bit to get it to hook up, and then roll back on the throttle. Because
Gonna be
they
completely
spin now.
honest. I don't know how much 250 practice I'm gonna even use or like play or do. I guess because if like you just mentioned, like if you want to go 450 next year, it's like there's no point to use the 250s.
Well, I have SMX still.
I
Yeah, so that's
definitely
why I
not
haven't
making
like
that. So
that's why I haven't like fully committed to the 450s, because I have SMX, and I really just want to I don't really care how I do, but SMX points go to my number, right?
I think so, right?
I mean, I
Because
think
I
so,
mean,
right?
it was
That
the
goes,
overall, right?
and so I really want to do well because I actually don't want to do too well, if I'm being honest. I want to stay like right where I am because I want number 21, and I'm currently number 22. And so I would like to beat, I don't know who's right ahead of me, but I want to just beat him and not the next guy. So I get 21.
I want to get Briggs's number 69.
I
Nah, I
thought,
don't really care to be honest.
isn't Jams oh, that's EU, but I'm pretty sure Jams has that as like a career number.
That's funny. Uh, I think someone also has a career number 99 because I wanted to get 99 because I have a higher number and I was like, can I just go back to 99? And someone actually has that career number, but I forgot who it was off the top of my head. But that's very interesting to say that your favorite bike is either the Suzuki or a Husky, which are two completely opposite of the spectrum there. I definitely got to use the Suzuki more. I'll do that this week.
It eats.
I just been using the KTM and Husky because like I watched Lindsay's video and I'm like, all right, that's meta. I'm just gonna use that. And there's not really
The Zook isn't even that slow anymore. I mean, it was always viable, You know, I mean, you look at Troy did really well on it, outdoors even.
I think you have to have
Um,
consistency to use the Zook.
yeah, you definitely have to be able to grease lines a lot better. You can't overjump something or you can't clip and then try to just grab a handful. But you can. It's way more forgiving than it was last year, in my opinion. The Cowie is also very good in Supercross.
450 or 250?
450.
I don't know how you keep
Bro,
saying that, man.
I'm telling you, that thing also eats whoops. The Yamaha's also really good in Supercross.
So there's
Eh,
like 5 viable bikes, basically. I feel like we mentioned this last week, though. It's like all bikes are viable if you're good.
yeah,
Like, I
yeah. I
think,
mean,
like, take Linz, for example. He can go use the freaking TM and he'll still place top 3
yeah,
because of how good he is, right? So if you're good at the game, it doesn't matter what bike you're in,
yeah.
what bike you're using. Like if you're good and you're consistent, I think the main key is just being consistent. If you can be consistent and do lap after lap after lap with the same exact pace, doesn't matter what bike you're gonna use.
I'll tell you what bike I didn't like is the Gas 450.
Has that bike even been good once? Like,
Yeah. At one point, remember, I think it was the beginning of the 18 OEMs. Everyone was running the Gas. I was running the Gas. Aiden was running the Gas. But it, I got on it on Daytona because I was doing the lap. I was just kind of using my lap to post today as I was going to test some 450. So I was doing like 10 laps and I'd switch to 450. And I got on the gas and it absolutely ate the whoops.
okay.
Almost as good as the Zook, but like it has this weird thing. It spins so much, I felt like. And I tried to adjust some things in the setup to get it maybe squat a little bit more, to get it squat less. I tried a bunch of stuff to just, and it was, if I came into a corner and I wasn't in the rut, like both tires planted in the rut, I was just speedway simulator through the corners. And then I jumped on the Husky and kind of assumed maybe it was just the Austrian bikes because I went from Zook to the Gas. And it was not anywhere near like that. Felt so much better. Wasn't as good through the whoops, but I was able to get it pretty spicy through there. And I just felt way racier on the Husky.
Do you think, talking about whoops, do you think wheelie meta is going to be a key? I heard a lot of people say that you're going to have to wheelie these bikes through the whoops.
You mean like skills 2 years ago kind of a thing?
Yeah.
Like where we're coming out of the 90, just stood up. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I mean, there's going to be 3 dudes doing that if it is
True.
because it's so hard,
I
I
feel like,
mean,
yeah, like I tried last year to do like that wheelie meta type deal, and I could never get it consistently. I always
mhm,
found that going through the whoops, like if you went in, sat down a tiny bit, got right back up, and just had your front tire hit that first couple, you're
mhm.
going to make it through perfectly. Might not be the fastest every single time, but if you got through those whoops consistently and not swap and crash, you're going to gain time over time, right? So
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the meta again this
I
year
think
instead of the
these
wheelies.
whoops are hard, or these bikes are harder to wheelie through the whoops because the other bikes, if you got it up and you just got the lean angle right, you just right triggered through them. Like there
Hmm.
wasn't a ton of throttle control. These ones, because every time you hit the top of the whoop, it spins more. I feel like it's real easy to loop out.
Oh, that's
Um,
true. I didn't
I've
think
been
about that.
finding in Daytona when the front end will drop sometimes in between those little whoops, it'll do a wheelie, and then I am like feathering the clutch halfway through the whoops trying to keep, but it won't set back down. It'll just do a wheelie and but yeah, it's hard, but I mean if you can get it, sure, maybe. I mean, of course it'll be fast, but I think it'll be hard.
I think what you just said, like, there's 3 dudes probably going to be doing that.
Yeah,
Cam, Skills, and
and Finn.
yeah, like that's it. Let's
Yeah,
be real.
yeah.
But no, okay, so that's very, very interesting to see that Suzuki. Oh, you got?
Yeah. I have been thinking, I just want to throw this out there. I have been thinking of rebinding my brakes from my left trigger to a button where it's either, just a bumper and putting my clutch on my trigger so I can feather the clutch through the corners.
why don't you just use a scuff controller, and that way it's on your back side of the controller?
Well, I have paddles, but I want to be able to do 10% clutch
Mm. Couldn't you just put your
instead of.
gain at 10%, or smooth it?
We could try that. We could try that, I guess. Actually, yeah, maybe I do run. I'm gonna mess with that because I have it on the back of my controller. Yeah, it's one of the paddles, but I want to see if riding the clutch through a corner helps with traction on these bikes, and like if you just keep it from spinning maximum, if I could just go through the corner and just pull in 5% on my clutch, if I could go a lot faster.
Yeah,
I have a
because then
theory.
I wonder if that helps with like wheel spin. I feel
That's
like
what I mean.
like the sliding is from the wheel spinning a lot.
Yeah.
So if you can counteract that with like that idea of using the clutch, I wonder if that slide is not going to happen.
Yeah, I want to try it.
If you try it, let me know. Will I change? Probably not, but let me know if it works.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be talk about changing the way you play the game. I'm gonna be having to hold both triggers through the corner.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
mean, I don't know.
by
I don't use
next
the brakes
week,
very much.
by next week, try it and we can talk about it, see if it went.
Okay.
So, that's very interesting. Jumping into something similar here is, what was your favorite like series throughout the entire year? So for us, we had MXGP, we had Supercross, and we had motocross. Obviously, we can't talk about SMX yet because we just haven't played it yet. There was also, I don't know if you did it though, K-Bill series. That was kind of towards the end of last year, I guess you
I
would
think it
say,
was on a
but
Sunday.
I don't even remember, to be honest with you. But I guess like the three main ones, MXGP, MX, and SX. Out of those three, which one was your favorite?
I want to say MXGP,
Okay.
but that was I don't know. MXGP was kind of my first pro series. I had raced some things in the past here and there, but I was either casting or I just didn't really do a lot of races. So MXGP was very cool for me. It was the first time I ever did a full series, even though I think I missed 6 rounds or 4 rounds of MXGP. So I mean, not really. 4 rounds of a 10-round series or 11-round series or something is not ideal. But I really liked those tracks too. They were hard, but really flowy and fun at the same time. Except not you, Lommel. Never again.
Almo is
Um,
trash.
I mean, it's not.
It's a great track. I just was not
It's
vibing.
not bad. But I mean, I'm just salty. I got like 17th or something, and I just could not. I mean, I just was out of skill. Like, it wasn't anything. I was just not doing well. Supercross. I mean, it's hard. Supercross is a close second, I think, for me, but maybe even a top. Soupy's awesome. I really enjoy Supercross. Um, and then I guess outdoors was really good too. I don't know. It's kind of hard to pick one. They all had their differences. I liked outdoors because it's the American tracks. I was pretty comfortable on the Yamaha 250. And so I think I played the best overall, probably in outdoors. Um, Supercross, I never got a podium anywhere. I got a fourth a couple times, but good grief. But uh, yeah, I don't know. The outdoors was good. I kind of missed the end of the season a little bit. Again, I missed a few rounds at the end. I really liked Paula. Paula was one of my favorite races, maybe ever in MX bikes,
Really? Is that
and
because of
Millville.
placement or?
That track was just awesome. I thought it was just all the hype around outdoors and then that track. That is one of my favorite tracks ever in the game, Paula.
Damn.
I think the way it's built was perfect for those last bikes. And then Millville. Millville, I think I finally actually showed some speed, but I mean, I showed some speed in MXGP too. So I don't know. I didn't really answer your question, but if I
You
had to
just
pick one, I think I would go MXGP.
okay. I'm gonna have to agree with you. I
Yeah.
think I think my favorite series was MXGP. I think
Mhm.
I did better in MX though. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I did better in MX. I had a couple top 12s. I wasn't fast enough to get in the top 10 ish, but
Mhm.
um I felt really consistent in motocross, but I just felt like GP tracks were like the shit. Like
Yeah, they're really
JV knows how to make tracks, especially for those last bikes. And I know he obviously helped with like the MX series, and that's why those tracks were phenomenal as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just always felt good playing those MXGP tracks besides Lommel. JV,
Yeah.
I love you, but that shit was ass. Okay.
What's this so hard?
It was just a skill issue on my part. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But no, I'm gonna have to agree with you. Like I really enjoyed all of the GP tracks. Like France, I'm pretty sure it's France.
Yeah.
That track was phenomenal. That was, I think, my best race of the year, and that track was phenomenal. The sand tracks too, like
Mm-hmm.
not Netherlands. What was
Not
the other
Lommel.
sand track?
Netherlands? Or you
Isn't
just
it
said
Netherlands Lommel?
Mm, I don't
What
know.
was? But the other sand track, like,
We can
it's
look it
so funny because Larson was actually not hosting it, commentating it. So that was
Mhm.
a lot of fun. We had some good starts on that sand track. I'm a sand like guy in the game. Like I love the sand. Um, so I think the MXGP series for me personally was the
Mhm.
best. But like I said, MX was also pretty good. We showed some speed, we showed some consistency, and we also showed some inconsistency throughout the
Rude.
year. Let's be real. Supercross, I never really like the beginning of the year. I couldn't even qualify for
Yeah.
like a couple rounds. Like I didn't even qualify for first round on 250 East, um, which was pretty bad if you think
Mhm.
about it. And then we slowly got into qualifying. We did pretty decent, I guess. But um, yeah, I'm just really excited to see what JV does next year with the GP tracks.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if they're gonna be like doing it the same way for MX next year, where it's like
Yeah, I
those
don't
three
know.
guys. I don't know. But if you really think about it, GP kind of starts in 3 months, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Not
January,
too
February
far.
ish. So, and then obviously we got Supercross. I know K Bell is actually starting up here soon. I think November, right?
Yeah, GPs is good. Like the tracks are really good too. The tracks work really well on bikes. Where I mean, sort of the US tracks, but there is also a few of the US tracks that just notoriously don't work well. Thunder Valley, even though Thunder Valley was pretty stinking good this year, definitely the best Thunder Valley we've ever had. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm biased of Argentina. I I really like Argentina.
The track
And
was
I was,
nice.
dude, Moto 1, I was in third, man. Like 18 minutes into the race, and then I crashed and got stuck in one of JV's holes. Okay, pause. Uh, but there was a giant hole on the side of the track, and I got stuck in it. So that was I was not super stoked about that. I went from third to 12th or something in one lap, and then I did come back and get fifth or something, I think, like that. But yeah, I don't know. They're all the tracks this year as a whole were all awesome, in my opinion. All of
Yeah,
them.
I definitely agree. I think this past year was probably the best year of racing we've ever had
Yeah.
for series wise, the competitiveness wise. Um, I felt like every series had its own version of competitiveness, if that kind of makes
Yeah.
sense. Not even a word, I don't know. But like um Supercross, very, very difficult. Everybody was super good. Like
Mhm.
everybody, like you
Yeah.
had probably 40 guys that can legit get like top 15.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's how good that series is. Similar with motocross, similar with GPs. Like I felt like there's also a lot of new guys this year that we really didn't see a lot last year that just like came out of nowhere and did phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
really, really good.
Remember when
Um,
I won a heat and beat Finn and then they didn't count it?
yep. I remember also when I officially qualified for my first race in Supercross this year, and then it got DDoS, so they didn't do it.
Yeah. Thick.
So that was great. But
Yeah.
yeah, overall, I think this past year has been phenomenal for
Mhm.
racing, and
Agreed.
it just makes us excited for next year. I know that like next year is going to be even better. The tracks are going to be even better. These bikes are going to be phenomenal for racing. So
Yeah,
we're
they
definitely
race so good.
excited. Yep. All right. So now a couple topics that are a little off of MX bikes here. All right. First topic that I want to go over with Doc here is World Supercross.
So World Supercross is coming up this weekend, Saturday, and I wanted to get his predictions on like who's going to win, what his thoughts are going to be on like the race. So Doc, I sent over like how the format is, which if anybody doesn't know, there's a new format for World Supercross this year. They'll have one practice, they'll have qualifying for 15 minutes, and then top 4 from qualifying will go to a Super Pole in each class. And then that will determine who gets top 4 like gate pick, basically. And that's for 250 and 450s this year. Last year, it was only 450s, I believe.
That's sick.
Yeah, so that's very, very, very cool. And then they're switching it up. And so this year, they're going to have 3 races for each class, 3 for 450s, 3 for 250s. And then it's Olympic style scoring. And then top 8 from 250s and 450s out of like those 3 races will go to a final race called the Super Final, which is a 12-lap main event with everybody combined for extra championship points. So overall, there's a lot of racing happening. There's 7 different races. Insane. There are some heavy hitters in this. You got Eli Tomac. You got Ken Roxon. Later on in this series, you'll have Jet Lawrence, Hunter Lawrence, Cooper Webb, because it's part of the Australian Supercross. You have Dean Wilson, Joey Savacci, Shane McElrath. You also have Luke Clout is also in this. You also have like Cole Thompson, Derek Kelly, Kyle Chisholm, Enzo Lopes, Cody Schock, a couple other names that are probably nobody really knows, like, because I don't even know who they are. But with all that being said, first off, what is your thoughts about World Supercross as a whole? And then we'll just start from there.
So, I mean, the previous years, kind of, starting the series didn't really do too much for me. This year, people are starting to see a little value in it, I think, and getting some more riders. And this format is actually really cool because looking at this, low key, you get 5 points for a Super Pole, for a Super Pole win. That's a lot of points. Kenny is gonna farm.
That's what I think too.
Kenny is gonna farm, and so while I do think Eli Tomac is definitely the favorite for this title here, Kenny, especially with these now, looking at this format, we have 2 8-lap races. Dude, Kenny gets a whole shot. Kenny's going to win that race. 8 laps. Kenny is the sprint lord, and then a 12-lap race, which what is that? Would probably be like a 15-minute moto, maybe a 13. It depends on how these tracks are, but 12 laps is not a lot. And then another 12-lap final. Like, I definitely think Tomac is in a better spot overall to win, as far as just speed and endurance and whatever. But these are really short races. And then with Kenny getting the Super Pole every weekend, or, every race, which I would count on. Man, that championship might actually be like really, really, really tight. And it also might make Tomac have to really go for those Super Pole laps too, because 5 points is a lot of points. That's like a lot of points.
Yeah, and what's also very, very cool about this too is like those 3 races are quick. So like, for example, the SX2 race 1 and 2, there's only a 5-minute break. So it's 8 laps, 5-minute break, another 8 laps. It's like super, super quick. And that's the same concept with 450s too. And then they
just
take
line right back up.
Yeah, and then they take like a 30-minute break for the third race. And then I'm assuming it's probably going to be like a 10 to 15-minute race or 15-minute break before the super final. I would assume something like that. But yeah, like I think it's like in the past I was very skeptical of this. I'm not going to cap. Like I thought personally, I'm like, what's the point? Why would anybody go do this? Like last year, the races were like just blah. They
Mm-hmm.
nothing really exciting. Like it was just blah, right? This year, I think with more, I guess another person adding to the mix, plus later on you're gonna have Jet and Cooper
Mm-hmm.
Webb and Hunter. Like there's gonna be some heavy hitters in this.
That's really interesting because rounds 2 and 3 are Australian, so it's Jet and Hunter. So yeah, that's gonna really shake points up, right? I bet this is a really tight championship at the end of it, to be honest.
And I think, like, yeah, going back into that, like, I think with Jen, Hunter, and Cooper all coming into the mix, I
Yeah.
personally believe that maybe next year those guys will do the whole series.
Yeah.
One of the things that like I don't like about this is like the same thing with like Australian Supercross, and I know why they do it. It's because of like the scene isn't as big for it.
Mhm.
But it's like back to back days. I don't like
Sure.
having like
Yeah,
back to back. I would much rather have like another venue somewhere.
sure.
But I personally believe it's going to be some good racing. I mean,
Yeah.
you have 7 different races and you have Super Poles. Like obviously it's going to be like Kenny and Eli battling, but like those are the 2 of the greatest of all time
Yeah.
that we get to watch 4 different times each weekend.
Yeah, the more I look at this format and the more I look at the schedule, and Kenny, this is like a Kenny series, short, fast. Yeah.
He did win it last year,
Yeah.
technically.
Yeah.
So I mean, and we also can't like forget about a couple of the other guys that are gonna be pretty good, that have pretty
Mhm.
good sprint like speed. Joey Savacci's racing this. Dean Wilson's racing this. Luke Clout beat both of those guys in Moto 1, an Australian Supercross a couple weeks
Sure.
ago. I don't think he can battle with Kenny and Eli, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think 3rd place is up for grabs.
Sure.
Like 1-2 is gonna be Eli and Kenny, but 3rd place for this weekend, I think
Yeah, I
3rd
was
place
gonna
it
say.
could be anyone's game.
I was gonna say, well, what happens when Jet goes 1-1 in Australia?
It's just Jet's gonna go 1-1-1-1. That's
Yeah,
all.
he's gonna just win everything.
Yeah.
Unless he gets a bad start, but yeah, I mean,
Even if he gets a bad start, he's passing everybody in 3 laps.
true.
But no, like even for like the 250 class too, like I personally believe the 250 class is stacked, man. You got Max Anstey in there, Shane's in there, Cole Thompson's in there, Derek Kelly, Kyle Chisholm, Enzo Lopes, Cody Schock. Like all those guys are really, really, really good. And I think the 250 race is going to be a battle between Shane, Max Anstey. You also have like Cole Thompson. I think personally, Cody Schock is going to surprise a couple people.
Yeah,
I think personally, like he rode really good in Supercross on the East Coast, like really good. So I think he's going to surprise a couple people. But yeah, like honestly, I'm actually excited for this since like we've gone to that transition of IRL stuff. This allows me to do more of this where I can watch part of that and do reactions to that. And it, even like the Australian stuff, it allows me to watch that and just have fun with it.
Yeah.
And same concept with this. So like I'm super happy about that.
Those Australian races are gnarly.
Dude, it was crazy.
They're so gnarly. I mean, 250 class. I mean, I'm a little biased, but I'm Shane. I was in the call with him earlier this week, and we were going over some stuff, and he was talking about how he just is getting better and better and better and better on that bike. And if you guys watch his vlogs, he was talking about, and he was telling me that that's one of the best bikes, if not the best bike he's ever ridden, and just the difference coming from Zook to Cowie to Honda, it's just he's just so comfortable, I mean, I could like hear his smile through the phone, he was
a big smile too.
Yeah, it was a big one. He was jazzed up about that Honda. So I mean, I'm really excited to see him progress, and I'm hoping break out a little bit. I mean, he's the defending champ too, right?
Didn't he win on?
I'm pretty sure he won on a Yamaha last year.
Nah, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't. I have no idea. I just know Kenny
I'm
won.
pretty sure he won 250s on Yamaha last year.
Is Shane riding 250s next year for Supercross? Can he even do that?
I have no
I
idea.
think he can. No, I think he pointed out to
Yeah, I
technically
have no
couldn't.
idea.
But no, I think Shane, if he won it last year, obviously he's the guy to beat, right? So
yeah.
I think Shane, Max Anstie are going to be battling it out, but don't forget about Cody Schock, in my opinion. Don't forget about him.
I agree with that. I saw some Instagram clips this week of Cody, and he looked comfy. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, you can tell when they're just going through the motions, kind of, training, doing their thing, kind of putting the laps, and then you can tell when they're comfy, and he looked like real comfy.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah, so to be fair, we're excited about World Supercross, and I
Yeah.
made even Doc more excited now. So
Sure, yeah,
that's
I'm
a
locked in
plus.
now.
It's on at a great time as well. It's on at Saturday, 5 p.m. Pacific. So that's pretty decent for East Coast, too. We don't have to stay up till midnight like Australia or 1 o'clock in the morning because that was rough. But yeah, so we'll definitely be doing a watch party for that. But now, let's talk about the F1 trip. And you guys can hear it in my voice. I'm struggling out here, okay? I am struggling. I touched dirt, a lot of dirt. There was some grass, but mostly dirt. Mostly weeds. It was just weeds everywhere. Let's be real.
Well, you were in Texas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so for us, we had general admission. I'll go through I actually have a funny ass story that I will get to here in a second. That is super, super funny. But yeah, so we arrived on Thursday. We just had a chill day. Didn't do anything crazy on Thursday. And then Friday, it was like practice and qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, we got there, roamed around the entire facility. And it's massive.
Yeah,
it is so big. Like, I felt like we walked for like 30 minutes and we still didn't even get to the other side. Right. One, that was a lot of people you had to maneuver through, right? I think there was a total of 500,000 people that were there the entire weekend. That's insane. Total throughout the weekend.
Sure.
Which is insane, bro. Friday wasn't as bad though. You could move around freely a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I could not do that Saturday. Bro, because I had Mixon be with me.
Yeah.
Literally, we were just back to back, literally walking through. Dude, it was crazy how many people there were. But yeah, we got general admission tickets. So basically, we roamed around Friday, tried to figure out where we wanted to sit for Saturday and Sunday. And so we figured out turn 18, kind of right before the finish and right before the start. Mm-hmm. So we had some good views, honestly. If anybody watched the race, that's basically where Lewis crash and George crash is right there. Which is very unfortunate because I wanted Lewis to win and he did absolutely dog shit. So that was kind of sad. But no, the race was good. Saturday, the cool thing about the whole facility though is they have an amphitheater.
Okay.
And so in the middle of the facility, it's basically an amphitheater where there's chairs everywhere. So a lot of people, including us, in between the races and stuff, because there was F1, Porsche, and then some vintage stuff. We just went to the amphitheater and sat down in actual chairs and just chilled for a while. It was
that's nice.
It was so much better than sitting on my butt in the grass.
Could you take chairs though?
Yeah, we could. We were supposed to get them at Walmart when I got there on Thursday. I went to Walmart. I forgot those. So it was not great.
Well, never mind.
Yeah, so that wasn't smart on my part. But it was still fun. Then Sunday, same concept. We kind of got there. We actually arrived a little bit later, so that way we could just kind of watch the event and kind of head out.
Yeah.
But it was packed, bro. Oh my gosh.
I bet.
Imagine Supercross times 10.
Yeah, I bet.
It was packed.
Was it as ridiculous as it looks on TV, how fast they're going?
That's the thing. So I know we talked about this last week.
Yeah.
And for me, it feels like they were going slower than what you see on TV.
That's sad.
So you on TV, you would see them and it would just be zoom, zoom, super quick, right? For real life, yeah, they're obviously going super fast, but like
Sure.
you can keep track with them. Does that kind of make
Right.
sense? Like you're just like
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
watching them, and so it wasn't like insanity. It was just more of like super super fast. Where TV, it felt like you see a camera and it's just. But
Yeah, well, I mean, perspective too, right? Obviously, you see a lot more with your peripheral, so it seems a lot larger. The track scaling is true to real life because it is real life versus the
yeah.
TV shrinks it all down and stuff. Yeah, I mean that makes sense, but yeah, that's cool though. I'm sure it was awesome. Did you get to, see anybody or interact with anybody cool?
So we didn't actually see anybody like celebrity wise,
Mm-hmm.
like in the facility. Like I didn't see
Mm-hmm.
anybody celebrity wise, but Sketch was there.
Oh, really?
Yep, Gordon Ramsay was there. Micah Parsons was there.
Oh, that's interesting.
Eminem was there because he performed. Sting
Oh,
was
really?
also there. There's obviously more celebrities I
Sure,
probably
sure,
forgot
sure, a
that I
bunch.
didn't even see. But as for us, we didn't really see anybody. And it was kind of funny because like I looked at Mix. Like first day we got there, I looked at Mix. I was like, am I taking the lead here? Like, am I just gonna
Right.
go walk around, take the lead? And they both looked at me like, like I was like, oh my god, okay, well, I just took the lead and started walking randomly. But okay, so funny story though, like no BS. On the we flew out Monday, like Monday afternoon, but we got to the airport early because Mix had a flight early. No BS. I sat down just randomly next to this guy. He was playing a Steam Deck. And I was like, yo, is that like a Steam Deck? And he was like, yeah. I was like, oh, that's pretty freaking sick. And then like the conversation basically ended after that, right? Because like
Right.
I don't know what to talk about. Or we talked a little bit about F1 and then conversation ended, right? Like after that, like I was just chilling on my phone, minding my own business, and B tapped me on the shoulder and he was like, bro, he's playing MX bikes on the Steam Deck. I was like, I looked over, I'm like, no way, this guy's playing bikes, bro.
That's funny.
And so like we had a conversation, and yeah, my ego went straight down. I was like because we got into the conversation, I was like, oh, bikes, and we got into like the new OEMs and all that fun stuff. And I was like, do you watch content? And he was like, nah, not really. And I'm like, how do you not
That's
watch
crazy.
content?
Yeah, right.
And he was like, yeah, I just don't really watch any of it. I was like, well, if that is the case, you probably have seen me or you have not seen me on socials, because I mean, I even said Doc's name in there too, and then Troy and like Lynn's. I'm like, you've seen one of us.
You didn't recognize any
He
of
didn't
them?
recognize any of them. I was like,
crazy.
Troy, Doc, myself. Like, he didn't recognize any of the names. Like, at least he didn't say anything. Maybe he was too afraid. Probably not. But yeah, I was like, well, that kind of, my ego.
That's crazy.
Straight down. I was like, how do you not know who we are? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't think there was anyone playing bikes that didn't watch content, But,
like, how would you know how to download stuff? Me and you, like, no, like we made videos on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, but yeah, that was my funny story about the whole thing. Like, it was just so random. Like, what are the odds?
Yeah,
that
that's crazy.
we sat down to some random guy and he just starts playing MX bikes on a Steam Deck, and then also the odds that he doesn't know who we are because we make content on bikes. And
yeah,
like,
that's crazy. Was that the first time you met Mixed and B?
Yeah, it was
in person?
Was
that weird?
Not B. I met B last year. He actually bought my bike off of me.
Oh, really? That's cool.
And then crashed and then never rode it for like 8 months. So, but yeah, so I met B before, because he picked up my bike, but that was the first time I ever met Dylan. And it's probably awkward at first for all of us a little bit.
Yeah.
But towards the end, we were just vibing, it felt like good. We all kind of have a similar take too of like, all right, guys, we're leaving early. I don't want to deal with the crowd. Like all three of us had the same exact idea. So it's like, it was really cool to see that. None of them wanted to like go out. Like we're all homebodies a little bit. Maybe not Dustin a little bit, but me and Dylan are definitely homebodies. So like we're not going to clubs or anything like that. I know my friend Zug, he basically was like, guys, it's a vacation. Go outside. I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, I saw you guys went to Topgolf, right?
Yeah, we went to Topgolf on or Friday night. So that was, funny thing about that. Oh my God, we almost missed our reservation because one, getting on the freeway, Getting on the freeway took us 30 minutes, and it was
I'm
only
sure
a
it was
5-minute drive from our house because of the
Yeah.
traffic.
Yeah,
Second,
I'm sure it was real bad.
if anybody watches this that is from Austin, I don't know how you guys live there, okay? The freeways are basically toll roads, so you have to pay for using the freeway.
Mhm.
And the side streets are basically the freeway for non-toll roads, so you have to hit every light. And I'm like, how do you guys even like maneuver around here? I missed my exit like 4 times. I was so confused at night too, so I don't know where the hell I'm going. I got GPS, but I definitely missed my exit to get on the freeway 3 times, and then I got on the freeway and got on too early and then hit a toll point, and I probably got fined for that because I didn't pay for tolls. I don't know how you guys live in Austin and deal with the tolls. I don't know.
There's a lot of tolls over here too on the East Coast. When we moved, I did the same thing. I ended up racking up like a couple $100 in fines because I just didn't have a thing. And it was right when COVID happened, and I ended up going through a bunch of the tolls all the time. And there was nobody there to take the money, and I didn't have, I don't know. I was just, anyway. So what we all did, or me and my wife did, is we just set our phones to avoid tolls. And so now I just put if we're going anywhere, if we use a GPS, it just avoids the tolls and just takes us whatever way we need to go.
I don't know I don't know why tolls are even a thing, bro. Like in
Taxes
Arizona,
aren't enough.
bro, like Arizona. Have you been to Arizona?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So like it's main freeways, right?
Mhm.
It's just like a main freeway, exit, enter, main
Yeah.
freeway, man.
Yep.
Why
That's
isn't
how Cali
Austin
is,
like
too.
that? Why is it not like that? Like I don't understand. We flew into San Antonio, and San Antonio's a dump. San Antonio's a dump. Like, are
Buddy
you
hates
kidding me,
Texas.
bro? I'm never moving to Texas. Maybe Dallas
is
and
cool.
Fort Worth.
Yeah,
I haven't been.
Dallas
I haven't
is
been
cool.
those, but
Yeah.
never moving to Austin. Never moving to San Antonio. I don't know how you guys live there. I know Arizona's bad, but it's not that bad.
I did a work trip to Dallas, and that place was pretty sick, but never been anywhere else.
Never go to Austin, bro. Never go to San Antonio. Me either. I drove through because we got to the airport and we had to drive. Never. I'm never going back. I'm never going back, bro. Like it was so bad. Unless I have like some chauffeur like driving me around or something,
Sure.
I'm not doing it. But no, overall we had a great experience. I made sure that like I kept like asking nonstop, like, you guys having fun? You guys want to do anything? You want to do anything? 'Cause
Sure.
like the older brother over here, I'm old as shit.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like making sure they're all having fun, and like, yeah, we all had fun. Mix brought his Xbox and we are supposed to play games, but that never actually happened. So we just used the Xbox to watch like football on Sunday before the race, and then when we came back. So that's kind of cool. And then yeah, Mix actually went downtown Saturday night
By himself?
because he had family in, so they
Oh,
went out to dinner, and I'm like, you're crazy. Like he was
right.
like he was a block away from the stadium because of the Texas Georgia game.
Yeah.
And so he saw like the plane fly over and everything. He got it on
Yeah,
socials
he
or
sent it
whatever.
to me.
Yeah. Hell no, I wasn't going down there, bro. That would have been packed, like
Yeah, I bet.
insane. But I think he had fun, so that's all that
Yeah,
really
sure.
matters.
That's cool.
And we talked about this last week too, that F1 is definitely probably better on TV, and I will 100% agree with that. It is better to watch on TV, just like NFL games and basketball, because as we're watching the race sitting in the grass and general mission, we have no idea what the hell is happening on the other side of the track. So
for
like
a minute and a half.
so like you see like the cars go through and then nothing, and I'm like, what the hell's happening? Like you have a TV in the far distance, but they didn't have a TV in front of us. So like we're like checking out that TV. You can't even see who's winning. Like I didn't even know Charles was still in the lead, and like yeah, it's better on TV. Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
When we were in England for the LAN prize trip, when we went and watched the Superbike races, that's how it was too. We had VIP things, so we had like a box with TVs all inside of it, but it was still, I mean, even then, I ended up just watching the TV the whole time, and you hear them, they go flying by behind you, but I was just watching the TV.
Yep.
But yeah, if you didn't have a TV, it would be.
Yeah, it's crazy because you don't, like, for example, practice day on Friday. Lewis like did a 360 in the S's. No, we didn't even know that until we watched it back later that night. Like, damn, Lewis did a 360. Like, it wasn't on the TV. Nobody yelled. Nobody did anything. And like, you see him crazy crash. I'm like, what? Like, I didn't even know that happened. Yeah, there's also a couple other races too. There was like the Porsche Cup, the GT3 Cup, which was fun. But overall, honestly, we had a great time. I don't know if I'll go back right away. I told them that I would probably go back for like 1 day max.
Sure.
I wouldn't go for a weekend. I would go for the weekend, but then just go for the 1 day, you know. Right. But overall, F1 was a bucket list item. Definitely can check it off. But yeah, we had a lot of fun. It was crowded. I'm sick. I'm tired. My sleep schedule's back though, so that's a plus. So,
yeah, that's
because I was 2 hours ahead. Now I'm 2 hours behind.
Oh yeah.
So like yesterday, I woke up at like 5 a.m. because I woke up at like 7 over there.
Sure.
So I'm like, kind of fixed it. So
yeah, that's good though. At least you had fun. Like you said, kind of a once in a lifetime. You went to an F1 race. I don't think a ton of people can say that, and so cool. Definitely worth.
It was definitely worth it. Maybe a few years we'll go to another one, but
Miami,
or maybe go overseas. Maybe go over. Maybe you never know. That'd be fun. But go to Japan for like a week and then go to the Japan race or something.
That would be fire. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like that would be sick. But
I'm down to go to Japan.
That once in a lifetime trip. Doc and Josh,
I'm in.
Sounds like a plan.
You're paying. Sounds good. You buy a fly.
Whoa. All right. Well, with all that being said, we hope that you guys enjoyed this. Sorry for the raspy voice. Sorry for the watery eyes. Sorry for the coughing. Your boy's still sick a little bit. So big shout out to Doc for taking the time out. And we'll be back next week talking about some more MX bikes and kind of like...
And other things.
So be on the lookout for that. All right. Much love. We're out. Peace.